All right, thank you so much for joining me. Looks like if you're having any trouble hearing us, please let me know. But everything looks like it should be working correctly. I am Corinne. I'll be your DM today. But this is Legendlore, the Metal Scourge episode 1. We're going to be using the Legendlore setting a little differently than some of the other streams on the channel. While the system is made for you to play yourself in a fantasy setting, it can also be used as a side quest for current game characters or a quick one-shot for when friends get together with characters from other games. This has become because the realm pulls people from different planes, universes, settings, all to one place. Specifically, the realm. You could have Scarred Lands characters and Pugmire characters meeting up in a strange new land, like you'll see today. Basically, you can pull characters from just about anywhere and put them in this setting and have a little adventure, kind of something similar to The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Where you walk into a wardrobe and you come out in a new fantasy world. If you like what you see on the stream, I hope you'll check out the Legendlore Kickstarter, which I'll provide the link in chat. With 22 days to go, they've raised over 12K, and they're getting closer to their, there's my dog, they're getting closer to their 15K goal, so get over there and support this fun setting. Without further ado, I'll pass the floor to my players, say a little bit about yourselves and about your characters, and then we'll get this show going. We'll start off with Bevan, because he's right below me.
Oh, okay. Well, hello, I'm Bevan. Along with Corinne, I'm normally, over on Roll the Roll. I actually ran our Scarred Lands game that lasted like 9 months, and we're going to start again later. I'm also Corinne's husband, and I'm currently in the bed where she normally plays when I'm hosting the stream over on the other computer. So I feel very weird, very laying down and relaxed, which isn't normal for me for a game, and I'm playing a Pugmire character, and I've never actually had the chance to play Pugmire before, so this is going to be like double weird because I get to play a Pugmire Paladin in a 5e game, having never played Pugmire before. But I'm Rex Fluffmane, and I'm a St. Bernard Paladin.
Very lovely to meet you, Rex Fluffmane.
I'm all about being a good boy.
Well, I hope you are the best boy.
I'm going to try.
All right, next we have Hiromi.
Hi, I'm Hiromi. I'm a freelance writer. I do a whole lot of things, mainly RPGs and queer genre fiction. I write a lot of things for Onyx Path, but not Legendlore. So this is going to be a whole lot of fun new stuff for me. I am playing Zasa. She is an Asathi wizard, which... I mean, I keep calling her a lizard wizard because it rhymes and that's cute, but she's technically a snake girl. She has hyper-focus issues, which is great in some circumstances, and, maybe less in others. We'll find out.
It can definitely cause some problems. All right. Up next, we have Rachel.
Hello, my name is Rachel. I'm a freelance writer, game editor. I do lots of things with words and games. And I am playing Shell. She is realm-born, so she was born here in this fantasy universe. She is an orc, currently working as an Okoth ranger. So she likes protecting her community and safe.
My dog is being very loud and I apologize.
He's setting the tone perfectly for a Pugmire crossover.
Right?
Exactly. She's just trying to help. She's just trying to be a good girl. She is very energetic today, and I don't know if it's because I was gone. I have no idea. So I apologize for that. Rachel, did you have more to say? Sorry for my dog cutting you off.
Nope. Think that's it.
Alrighty. Next up we have Jeremy.
Hello, I'm Jeremy, and I am also playing a Pugmire character, Winnie. In Pugmire, she'd be called a shepherd, but in 5e, she'd be a cleric. And just so you know, Corinne, dogs bark at the unseen, and they're warning you that the unseen are there. So she's being a very good girl right now.
Perhaps she is. Perhaps I'm mistaken. Perhaps she's being the best girl.
She is being the best girl.
She could just be loud, though.
It's probably that, but you can go with. Let's see. So I own and operate Wonder Table Publications, but I do a lot of freelance work with Onyx Path and for DM's Guild and stuff like that. So I'm excited to
Very
do this Legendlore stuff.
I'm excited too. And usually we would have Rune here. He is currently swamped with work because some deadlines super crept up on him. But he'll be here next week. We'll find a fun way to bring him to the realm as he plays Marigold. Until then, though, we'll just have our party of 4. All right, we're going to get going. Let me pull up the relevant document and we can get going. All right. So, what are each of your characters doing right now in their home realms? We can go same order if you like, unless somebody in particular really knows what they're doing and someone else doesn't.
Oh, well, Rex is probably at an inn having a drink. He spent a long day, helping young pups, teaching them how to be good boys, keeping an eye out for bad dogs, maybe some cats. And he deserves a drink. So he's at an inn with an oversized mug that looks like a barrel, like a St. Bernard would normally have on his neck. He's just having a drink.
All right.
So you could say, like, as he pulls it up, and then he puts it down, and he's not in the inn anymore.
I like that. So yeah, Rex, as you go to take a drink, you bring it to your face, you take that drink, you pull back down, and suddenly you're somewhere else. We'll find out where once we figure out what Zasa's doing.
Oh, sorry, my mic fell. I rearranged, and then my mic fell. That was rude.
Zasa is currently in a tavern listening to Marigold serenade the patrons at the tavern, and she thinks to herself, wow, this song is otherworldly. It just fills me with this strange energy that... Hey, wait a minute.
And you're suddenly somewhere else. Perhaps it was something in the tavern, perhaps it was the music itself, but you've been brought to another realm. All right. What's Shell doing right now?
She's probably hanging out in town. You mentioned that there was going to be like a town meeting going on.
Mhm.
So she's probably on guard duty.
All right, so she's on guard duty. Is she, what kind of guard is she? Is she very diligent or is she a bit distracted?
So she's an Okog ranger, so, she's not a cop. She's more like there are wolves in the woods and they need to stay in the woods and not come into town. And so that's sort of the threats that she's focused on.
Okay, so she's ready for the wildlife.
Yeah, so she dresses like a ranger, lots of leather and heavy canvas, and her main weapon is a longbow rather than a melee weapon. Because, you can also use a bow to hunt and feed people that way.
Very true. All right, we'll go back to what you're doing specifically once we figure out what Winnie's doing.
Winnie. So Winnie is currently escorting a ambassador from the Church of Man to a enclave of cats, because there is one that is a suspected necromeouncer that has been causing some issues, and so they're going to try and have some peace talks with the necromeouncer.
Okay, so are you currently like escorting through the wilderness, or do you think you're in a city?
I think we would be outside the city.
Okay. So I'll say for you, Winnie, you are traveling and you're walking by like a forested area and you see something kind of shimmering out of the corner of your eye. And, being diligent as you are, you go and check it out. And as you get closer, suddenly the land around you changes. Now, let's find out where you all are. All right. The setting sun is sinking beneath the hills, low and pale. It paints the sky in pastels. Above you, you see twin moons, one large and the other small. As the sky grows darker, they shine brighter. And let's show you our lovely little scene here. I'll show everybody. So you're looking at a beautiful sunset, basically. The sun is setting, the moon is rising, but everything's not quite as it seems. You're not where you were. And it appears that you're not alone either. Scanning the landscape, you see others like yourself, blinking up at the strange sky. In bewilderment, confusion, perhaps they were brought here as you were, or perhaps the sky isn't supposed to look like that. What do you do?
Am I just, who's around? Is it, the other players are
Yeah,
around me?
so all the other players are, basically, you're all dotted in this kind of valley. You see each other from afar. You're not incredibly close, but you would be, standing on one hill, for instance, and maybe someone is down in the valley, and you would be able to see each other, all just kind of staring up in confusion, somehow all in a new place.
I want to give the air a real big sniff.
Okay. I'd like, if you'd like to try and get something in particular, roll a perception.
Yeah, I want to smell if there's anybody or anything smells familiar, if this is all completely different.
Okay.
And I get a +1 on this roll because it's with my smell.
Okay.
So, oops, I rolled with advantage by mistake.
That's all right.
It's a 9, so it's not that good.
So,
I gotta turn auto off.
You smell the earth. You smell, kind of the scent of rain on the air, but something seems a little bit off. This doesn't really smell like home. It smells like a sort of wildernessy area, but it doesn't smell like where you're from. All right, Zasa, what do you do? You're standing in this strange place. There's other people like you.
Marigold, did you... Oh, well, that's less than ideal. You, with the tail. Hi.
Which one with the tail?
The brown tail, yes. If you can understand what I'm saying. If you can't, then
that is something interesting. As you speak to each other, you notice that although some words kind of make it through, there is a language barrier between Zasa and the various dog folk we have here.
Yeah, I'm gonna just tilt my head to the side. Because I don't understand.
Let's try. Cheerio, pip pip. No, that language never works.
You switch to another dialect, but it's still not right, it seems. Have you all kind of grouped up at this point? Have you gotten closer? Have you kept your distance?
So I feel like I would be a little concerned because I was escorting this ambassador. So I'm going to start calling out for the ambassador. And when the snake person begins hissing and making noises, I'm assuming it's not aggressive because they're just speaking and they're not like waving swords at me or anything like that. But I'm going to shout back. Have you seen a cloaked dog? They have like a fluffy snout. Do you understand anything I'm saying?
And I kind of want to yell back, the only fluffy dog in this parts besides you is me.
Oh, no, you're not the ambassador.
No, I am not.
And we're going to start sniffing around, try and locate where I lost the ambassador.
All right, roll an investigation for me, because you're trying to seek out the ambassador. All right, so
Nice.
okay, it's the same thing as Bevan got.
You also get the +1 for keen senses.
That is true.
Oh, so then be a 10. All right, so you don't smell the ambassador anywhere, except for you can kind of smell the scent of the ambassador on your own clothes. You know, you were with them for a while, but they're nowhere to be found. They're not anywhere near, and
oh no.
You also do kind of pick up on the fact that this doesn't smell like where you were. It's distinctly different.
Well, if everyone would just hold still for a number of minutes, I can see about using comprehend languages. But you can't understand what I'm saying. No, please don't walk off. I really should have taken those elocution lessons.
Zasa, if you would like to try and cast a comprehend languages, it would probably help with what's going on. But getting everybody together might be a little hard.
She knows the spell. She does not have it prepared.
Okay. So
because that would be too easy.
It would be too easy. I could have warned you, but I didn't. The dusk is growing thicker by the moment as you all kind of stand there, not understanding each other. Soon, only the moon and stars will light your way. But something rumbles in the distance, and then falls silent. I'd like you all to roll a perception check.
We're not the most perceptive group.
Ooh, yeah.
You're all doing great. Okay.
14.
Okay.
Is this for sound?
It's for sound and sight.
Well, sound I get a +1 on too because I'm a dog.
Okay.
So it's a 15.
Okay, so yeah. In particular, you see that there is, you see two bright spots of light that are racing towards the valley, towards all of you. You hear the whip of the wind. Something is moving very fast and coming straight towards you and the others.
I'm going to take out my flail, stand right in its way. Not my flail. I don't have one flail. My mauls, my big old hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to look right at it and start barking.
Okay.
So if I can roll an intimidation.
Yeah, roll an intimidation for me.
A 7.
So
there's a lot of slobber, and it's more like oof, oof.
Yeah, you're just kind of making sounds like you're looking a little bit more like goofy than intimidating. You are pretty thrown off by the environment, by these people you can't understand, but you do, you really notice that it's not slowing down. It's headed straight for you, and it's covering ground like nothing you've ever seen before.
But what is it, boy? Do you have a well? I'm getting a well.
Real life Bevan knows this is a car. But Rex Fluffmane has no idea what a car is.
Mm-hmm.
So he wouldn't want to get out of the way.
So,
and I'm not going to metagame and be like, oh, it's a car, I shall allow it to pass. I think I'm going to go, there's a beast approaching.
But you just really want to chase for some reason.
Something about it just feels right. I have to attack.
Well, hearing that there is a beast approaching, I will rush that direction and try and put myself between this snake woman and the beast.
I turn around and go, small friend, something about this beast. I have to chase it.
So,
When it's within 120 feet, Zasa messages it just in Ledian.
Okay, so
hi.
You send it a hi? All right, so as you send it that hi, you get back some sound. It does sound accented again, not quite, maybe something similar to the dogs, but not quite. And you hear, who are you?
I'm Zasa.
What's Zasa?
That's my name. We were literally just over this. I can say it again, but louder if you need. I can spell it too. Although I don't know that we have the same alphabet, so maybe. Anyways, Zasa's my name, and you're coming towards us at a very, very alarming speed. So, hi.
You kind of get a sound back in your head that's kind of like static, as if the connection's being interrupted, and then you hear lots of voices speaking over each other, kind of like a cacophony of strange music. And it seems like this thing is getting closer, and it's not stopping. Shell, you hear kind of that loud roar in the distance where you're standing guard. You're not particularly close, but this is something you've heard before. In fact, you know that this very sound and the thing that is, in the valley right now is what's being met about in the meeting house.
Okay. So what is the general feeling of the villagers?
The general feeling of the villagers is that whatever this is has been this strange thing has been kind of terrorizing the countryside, scaring away travelers. It's been an issue. No one's been able to confront it yet because it's too fast. They try and stop it, and they have to get out of the way because it's rushing at them so quickly. So no one's been able to really do anything about it yet. But that's what the meeting's for, to try and figure out, what the plan is. How are you going to deal with this thing that's scaring away all the travelers? That's basically the life's blood of this area.
Okay. So when she hears the strange noises, she'll probably turn to someone that she works with and it sounds like the metal Scourge is acting up again. I'm gonna go check that out really quickly, just in case there's something important that I need to come back with.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, if there's any travelers out there, bring them in. We don't want them scared away. We want them at our inn.
Definitely. And so she'll take off and, unsling her bow, draw an arrow, just in case. She's probably tried to shoot it before.
And it's bounced off.
Yeah.
There's, a couple of places you can hit where it wouldn't bounce off, but you haven't hit them yet.
I need to get it in bright light of its eyes.
It's a good plan. So I would like you to just roll me a investigation check to kind of see where the sound was coming from specifically, to kind of find the rest of the party. All right. Okay, yeah.
Is there a way to turn off advantage?
Yeah, so go to the cog in the top right next to your spells. And then you'll scroll, almost right below it, it'll have roll queries. And then instead of always roll advantage, I do advantage toggle.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And that's under the spell section?
No, it's the gear right next to the spells on your character sheet. There should be a little gear for settings.
Oh, I don't have any spells. Oh,
well,
I see what you were talking about.
And core. Yeah.
I see what you're talking about. I thought I was supposed to be looking at my spell list. Thank you.
At the top of the page.
Yeah, if you can't find it, let me know. I should be able to activate it for you. So you, in the distance, kind of backlit by the setting sun, you see the group of travelers that are here. You see them standing together, kind of in the face of the metal Scourge as it races towards them with its lights, its bright eyes blaring and glaring. You see them. You think you could reach them before the metal Scourge, maybe, but you might be able to get their attention, and then you would definitely be able to, get them away from it first.
Okay. So you said that Cant is the trade language and it's a lot like Spanish?
Yes.
Yeah, so she will say, hola, hola, aquí.
You all hear someone speaking a language you don't understand, but dog folk, perhaps you're familiar, as I assume lots of earthen languages could have perhaps been around in the days of yore of the dogs. I I would like you both to roll me an intelligence check to see if you recognize this language at all.
Wait, that wasn't a roll. That was me just clicking the stat. No, I just rolled a 10.
You just rolled a straight 10. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, Rex, you recognize this a little bit. It's very old and very weird, but you recognize that, you're basically being told, like, over here, like, hello, come here. Like, it's, you think this might be something that was a pretty common phrase, pretty frequently used back in the day, but not so much now.
And she is waving you over,
Um,
but with
I
a big
mean-
bow in her hands.
I usually come when called.
Because you are a good boy.
I'm the best boy.
All right, so you're being called over. What about Zasa and Winnie? You hear someone calling you over, you turn around and you see her in the distance waving you.
She seems very excited, and she says that she has a key, so we should go follow.
All right.
Winnie will wait until the snake lady begins moving, and then we'll go with her, but trying to keep herself between the snake lady and the roaring beast.
All right. All right, so the beast is getting closer. You think that if you don't start running, it's going to get to you before you get to Shell.
Well, I guess that's an athletics.
Yep. You can roll athletics. You can also roll acrobatics if you're being particularly, like, jumpy about your running, but probably athletics.
Nope, I'm a freight train of a doggy. An 11.
All right. Okay. So yeah, each one of you that's trying to run, roll me an athletics or, acrobatics if you're doing cartwheels or something.
He's just not having a good time tonight. 5.
You're just getting all the bad rolls out early. It's fine.
Right?
All right, Zasa, are you running as well?
Well, it seems like the fun thing to do. Everyone else is doing it.
All right.
I want to be cool too.
So, Zasa, you're kicking ass. You're in the lead. You're used to it you're used to adventuring. You've been doing this for a while now. Maybe you're kind of getting the hang of it. And then let's see. So right now we have Zasa in the lead, and then we have, I keep misplacing this. And then we have Rex, and then Winnie. Winnie, you almost feel as if the metal scourge is, like, right on your tail, like it's getting close. You feel as if it were any closer, you'd be feeling its hot breath against your skin. You don't have too much time, but all of you are getting closer to Shell. She's very close now, and you're close enough to contact without yelling at each other.
Well, I'm gonna keep running.
Okay, so you keep running. Shell, are you
I got a
following him?
one-track mind. So. Well, I mean, running towards, like, near Shell, because
Okay.
she said to come.
Okay. All right, so Shell, they're running towards you.
Okay. I'm going to, as soon as I can safely do it, take a shot at this beast.
All right, roll
Right?
that.
And it's glowing eye.
Okay, roll that shot for me. Let's see how well you do.
Okay. I collapsed my character sheet. Come back. Okay, here we are.
Okay, so you go to shoot the eye of the beast. You get pretty close, but you seem to hit the weird armor it has beneath the eye. It ricocheted off. This is something you've had a problem with before. It seems like the eyes aren't very big, despite how bright they shine. All right.
And it's very hard to hit a moving target.
It is. It's hard to hit a moving target, even when it's moving towards you. It goes very fast. So it's getting closer. Shell, you know that the meeting house isn't too far behind you. It's probably the best place to seek shelter with these travelers. And you know that your bosses would want them to not get scared away by the metal scourge.
Yeah, so she'll say, correct on me, and start running in a direction.
I'm just going to keep following. I don't think I understood that much.
This is an
I think-
interesting custom. We do violence and then we continue to run.
Yes.
Sure. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Nice.
All right. So Zaza, you cast grease on the ground, and you see, you're probably still running, but you hear kind of a strange sound. It kind of sounds like skidding or like something like trying to grab traction on the grass that's no longer there. It's kind of a weird stuttering sound. And you think that you've given yourself more time. And in the distance, you can see the meeting house. It's a large wooden building, clearly occupied, if the light on the inside is to be believed. Let me swap you to the meeting house. And this one, music's too loud. Let's fix that. There we go. Okay, so you see the meeting house in the distance. The din is getting louder behind you, but you think you got more time with the grease spell. Maybe this building could provide a place to hide. It seems to be where the waving person with the bow is taking you.
I'm going to go inside. I'm going to go in the nice warm house.
Okay.
I'm not going to... I'm going to wipe my boots off before I go in. And...
So, is anybody else going directly in, or are you doing something different?
Seems like the fun thing to do.
Yeah.
If the person who's waving us in is going to try and attack the beast again, I might hang out. But if they're not showing any signs of doing so, I'll run inside.
Okay.
I feel that we're far enough away from the beast right now.
Okay, so you all get inside. The doors open, as you expected it to be Shell.
Yeah.
And you are able to just get right in there. You slam the door behind you, and it shakes a little bit in the frame, and then an unnatural screech fills the air. The rumbling is back again, a muted roar that is cutting through the night. I'd like you all to roll a perception check.
Uh, 10. Because we're perceiving the sound or the house?
You are in the house now, but you're perceiving what's outside of it.
Yeah, so a 10.
Okay. All right. So. Okay, so we got a 14, a 17, a 13, and a 10. All right, so Zaza and Winnie, you are both looking out the windows. You know, as you came in, you kind of rushed over the window to see exactly what was there. You were curious. You know, Winnie, you wanted to protect everybody. Zaza, you just wanted to know what this thing was. Maybe it's close enough to see now. Through the window, you see a dark shape backing away, the bright lights going with it and disguising much of its true form. However, the longer you watch, the clearer things become as the creature turns away, revealing its back. The moon shines off of empty red eyes before the eyes glow once, twice, and then the beast is off into the night once more. It seems it has two sets of eyes or something.
Weird.
Bye. Have a good night.
I'm going to bark at it as it leaves.
Are you standing at the window barking?
Yeah, hands and face, looking at it, you know.
All right.
The whole shebang.
From behind you, you hear a ahem. There's more people in the room than just yourselves and Shell.
Shell will turn to you and ask, ¿Cómo están?
And behind you... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't respond to that because I don't know what that means, but I understood a key enough that I'm gonna just look at her expectingly and wag my tail.
Hable Kant?
I have no idea what that means, but
I don't know, but I remember she
I-
told us to come, and I came. So.
Hi, thanks for leading us into a warm place and showing us the local customs.
I will
I'm
ask
Zaza.
you speak Drom in Drom. I don't know what language that is.
Drum would be reminiscent of Japanese.
I'm not gonna try. I've never studied Japanese.
Understandable. So, as you're all kind of trying to communicate with each other, you notice that there's a large orcish woman standing, behind you at the head of a large table. Her features are, perhaps more pig-like than some of you may be accustomed to on an orc. But Shell, for you, this is normal. This is what you look like. She has long, bristly black hair and black speckled light brown skin. She is powerfully tall and muscular. Her stature, though, is not used to intimidate. Instead of posing herself as a threatening foe, she instead holds herself with confidence and poise. She speaks, but it isn't something that any of you, except for Shell, would understand. Shell, you know that she's talking to the travelers, talking to them in Cant, talking to them in Drom, basically doing the same thing you did, and nothing's happening. So then she calls you over.
Would I know her name?
Yes, you would know her name. This is Lars.
Lars, I found these travelers being threatened by the metal Scourge. We got away safely, but I don't know where they're from, and they look... And, Shell, realizes, oh, 2 big dogs and a snake girl. I'm not sure where they're from.
Yeah, they really don't seem to be from around here, do they? It certainly makes sense. They're not understanding a word we're saying. All right. Well... Okay. I have an idea. And she goes and turns around. She starts speaking to somebody else. They scurry off and then come back with a couple of little vials. And
I'm just gonna draw
what?
a pentagram on the floor and spill some blood into it. Don't worry, this is a perfectly normal spell. It's comprehend languages. It'll be fine. It'll take me 10 minutes. The amount of blood is much smaller than it seems. It doesn't hurt me at all. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I don't mean to trouble you. I'm just gonna bleed on your floor a little bit. It's okay.
Just
Gonna withhold the urge to go and lick your hand.
Shell definitely looks worried, but you seem like you know what you're doing.
So as Zasa, as you're completing this ritual, it looks like they're trying to do something. They're gathering vials. They are pouring something into the vials. They're doing something over there that is supposed to help your situation while you're bleeding on the floor, doing a pentagram. Just normal comprehend languages stuff.
Normal whiz biz.
Just the whiz biz. You're doing the whiz biz. And Zasa, you can now understand what people are saying. You hear that they are talking about, you hear someone go, okay, the potions are basically ready, should be enough for all of them, it's not going to last forever, but they should be able to understand us after they drink these, assuming they drink them. That
would be very helpful, thank you.
Oh!
Those potions would be great.
Oh, you understand us now!
Yes.
Perfect, okay, yes, can you tell your friends to drink these?
I only just met them, but I can, so I will.
Okay, yes, please.
Hi, dog people.
Lizard.
We haven't been officially met. My name's Asa. I didn't mean to be rude earlier. We were just, being chased by some strange thing, so we didn't have time. But I'm Zasa. What's your name? extra large dog.
Oh, little snake lady friend. My name is Rex Fluffmane. I am the goodest of boys, and I teach young pups how to also grow up to be good boys and girls. And I fight bad boys and girls.
You're a teacher. That's fantastic.
Of sorts.
Teachers
I
are
say.
the best profession.
And then I look down at my paw. Like, yeah, of sorts.
After one of Pugmire dogs carried treat bags around to give each other treats for being good dogs. Because I want to, as Winnie, go give him a treat.
I would say that yes. I think that dogs, the dog folk, would carry treats around to give each other as like as gifts. As you were such a good dog,
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
So as I bow to, I forgot the snake lady's name. I'm sorry, Zasa. Yes. As I bow to her and introduce myself as Winnie Staffordshire of the Church of Man, I will hand the treat over
To Zasa or to me?
to you for being a good
Oh
boy.
my goodness. And I think my tail might knock something over while it's wagging. And you get slobber on your hands.
Zasa, do you like treats as well? I can never remember if the snake people like treats.
I don't know. Let's find out.
You gotta try these.
What does this treat taste like,
do
Winnie?
not.
I assume it'd probably be something like dried meat of some kind.
Fried meat with charcoal and
Right.
Zaza,
And,
this reminds you of those shitty trail rations you got that one time. Like it's really bad. It's just like bad jerky. You're not.
There's a
not
little
like to have-
strand of drool is coming out of Winnie's mouth.
I mean, if you don't want your treat, I was just a very good boy.
That's true. I saw it. You were definitely a very good boy. Here. Would you
And
also
I-
like ear scritches?
I wouldn't be opposed. I mean, one doesn't normally just ask for that, but okay.
So you guys haven't drinking the language potions?
No.
Not yet.
Shell-
We literally
Shell-
can only understand the three of us can understand each other.
So Shell's watching very carefully, and she'll turn to was it Lars?
Yeah, Lars. There's an apostrophe.
Yeah, so she'll turn to Lars and like, is this a custom? Should we give them something to eat too? I mean, they're probably hungry.
It might help. Perhaps they'll drink something after they eat. They seem to be sharing food. I mean, really can't tell what their customs are, and we're all about hospitality. Yes, get them food. Oh yes, I'll have
Drinks
it
was
in.
a good suggestion. So
Yes.
she'll go over and get like 3 big beer steins and bring them over and be like, to Zos, she'll be like, it's beer. This seems to be part of your customs, and we want you to feel welcome. So, it shouldn't hurt you.
I liked hearing when Jeremy read what I typed in the chat.
I just read it too. That's perfect.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just like start going ham on that beer. Because I'm a dog boy who likes beer.
And as you are drinking, Shell, you see that they the inn has brought over some like little like travelers hand pies, like something that'd be easy to give out before travelers leave. And you see that it is the owner of the inn who's bringing over the food. Lars must have contacted. Give me one moment while I find the owner of the inn here. Ah, yes. So you notice that this is Phalar. Phalar runs the inn, which is known as Home Inn. You're very familiar with it. It's one of the most well-known establishments in Welcome Village. Phalar is pretty a bit shorter than Lars is. They have half-shorn, bristly brown hair. The top is longer than the sides. Their skin is a ruddy pink, and they're known for their rather toothy smile. So Felar comes over, brings over these little hand pies, and they're like, I brought these. I heard we have new travelers in town.
We do. We're working on a language potion, although this woman can understand us just fine. So these are travelers' rations. They're just little pastry filled with meat and potatoes and gravy. They're pretty good.
Zasa, Shell's seems to be giving you some pastries, and Felar is looking at you with like big moon eyes, like just so excited that travelers are here. And as food is handed to you, you see them kind of want to like put their hand out to shake yours, but they keep bringing it back, not wanting to stop you from also grabbing the food. They're quite torn.
I'm gonna start like drooling and shaking, looking at the meat pies, because no one has actually said I can have it. They were just placed on the table in front of me. I'm just sitting there like.
Shell will gesture. She'll pick one up and like offer it to you.
Oh, it's gone.
Is Phalar an orc as well?
Yes, Phalar is an orc. A bit shorter than Lars. Shell, how tall do you think you are by Orcan standards?
Oh, orcs are probably pretty big, right?
Yeah, they're generally pretty big.
Yeah, she's probably like 6'6".
Okay, so Phalar is shorter than Shell as well. They don't seem to be, like the toughest orc. Perhaps that's why they run the inn. They're a bit more interested in hospitality and providing a good environment for guests.
Well, seeing that they are handing out these wonderful-looking pastries, wipe my face, take one. I will try to eat it a little slower, which is not much, than Rex.
So it's 2 bites instead of 1?
Right. It's really 1 bite, but then I pretend to,
chew.
Right. You chew.
Filler is a little bit taken aback by the fact that both of you just completely decimated these meat pies. But then they're pleased because you seem to like them.
Yeah. She'll be like, "Oh, do you think they were starving? Should we get them more?"
Maybe they're really hungry. Yeah, I'm gonna go grab more. Yeah, see if they can drink the potions. I'd love to talk with them. It's been so long since we've had travelers. The metal scourge keeps scaring them away. Okay, I'm gonna go get more.
And Shell will go check on the potions and bring them over if they're ready.
Yeah.
Rex, Winnie, they're wondering if you want more pies.
Yes.
They're just going to give us pies?
Just give us
This
food.
is the best place ever.
I've had a lot of good days recently, but oh, good boy, this is a good day.
Falor, they said they would like some more pies.
I will definitely bring some more pies. Not a problem at all. Do you want pies? You haven't really eaten anything. Can I get you any food? Just a little.
I would like to try a pie.
Of course. Here, I have one here, and they hand over one. I'm gonna go grab more. They look ravenous.
Thank you.
And Felor runs off. You assume to the inn. You see them exit from a back door, out of the meeting house. It'll take them a little while to get back, but they were here pretty fast the first time after food was requested.
They're gonna bring more pies.
My tail starts going.
Right. Are there people sitting around us at all? Do I need to watch where my tail is?
So there are some other people in the meeting hall. You see that along with Lars and Shell, and Felor, who keeps coming and going. There are it looks like some other town elders, maybe some local business owners that are all at the table. You all are kind of clustered in the center of the room, just past the table. But if you got too close to the table, you could start knocking things over, hitting people in the face with your tail. They're all very interested in you, but they're not being too weird about it. They're pretty used to seeing visitors.
I definitely feel chagrined that I'm like thwapping people, so I keep like moving and then running into somebody else, and then finally I'm just gonna move over by the door and get out of the way.
I don't think I physically have noticed if I've been hitting people.
All right,
Like
just
if I
You're
have
so
been,
floopy.
yeah, I mean if I have been, oops.
just roll me a d20. I want to see if you've been hitting people.
Oh, okay. Where's my character sheet? Just had to rearrange. I'm getting claustrophobic sitting with this desk on my lap. Gotta give you more credit for sitting with this thing
For hours at a time, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. Oh, it's a 7. Good. Oh no, you just wanted a normal d20.
Yeah, just normal
I did
D20.
a Constitution check for some dumb reason.
I don't
A
know.
4.
Okay, so yes, you've totally been hitting people. Every time your tail starts wagging, you are hitting someone else in the face with it. They don't seem too mad about it. It's more of like it's become a weird joke. You know, everyone's like waiting for your tail to go off and like trying to avoid it, depending on where you're standing. So you think people might be giggling at you a little bit.
I
That works.
imagine that the village children think this is the best thing ever.
Yes, you do see that there's lots of kids. Not a ton, but there's, you know, some kids who are hanging out like on the outskirts of the meeting. Clearly they weren't invited to the meeting, but they were brought to the meeting house because, you know, their parents came, or, you know, it wasn't safe for them to be outside, you know, things like that. And
they heard about the giant dogs.
they heard about the giant dogs. You know, you think that there weren't that many kids here when you started this encounter, and now there are significantly more kids. Both Winnie and Rex, you have some children come up to you, and they're you know, pretty large as far as kid standards go because they are orcs, but you can definitely tell that they're young. You know, they still have that kind of childlike feeling that they're giving off. You know, the way they walk, the way they talk. And so a kid approaches you, probably coming up to, how tall are you, Rex?
Rex?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. How tall would a St. Bernard be if you were standing straight up?
Pretty big.
I'm probably about 5.5 feet tall, which is really big for a dog.
Yeah. Okay. And Winnie, how tall are you, do you think?
Winnie's probably about half a foot, maybe 3/4 foot shorter than Rex.
Okay. So Winnie, the kids are a little bit shorter than you, like probably coming up to like your chest. So still pretty tall, but you think that they're not that old. And they come up to both of you, and you hear, in a language you can't understand yet, "Hi, can we pet you?" And it is you. I would say that you would probably understand the word pet.
Are these human children?
No, these are orc children.
Oh, well, okay. We haven't freaked out yet, I
Right.
guess.
Yeah.
I mean, these are just green pig people. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, they're just
Right.
they're just, you know, orcs.
But they're puppies, and I feel like Winnie would
They
pull
are
a ball
puppies.
out
Yeah.
and start like bouncing the ball and then throw it, like expecting them to go fetch it.
The one of the kids almost considers it, like does kind of like a, and then the other child like grabs them by the arm, and they repeat again, "Can we pet you?"
I think if I understand the word pet,
I think you understand the word pet.
I'm gonna sit in my chair and just put my head down and try to control myself.
And the first kid, you know, the one that was specifically asking, like gets this big smile on his face and then starts like gently petting your head.
Oh man.
Once Winnie gets it, she'll like sit down on the floor with them.
And-
Although she does eye where the ball went, she's just like, bad pups.
One of the other kids, not the ones that were speaking to you, seeing that the ball rolled away, goes and grabs it and brings it back over and like sits it in front of you. And then Winnie, since you're sitting on the floor specifically, you're now surrounded by kids. And Rex, you're like just getting pet by that one like really diligent kid, who just is so excited to be able to pet this huge dog man.
Oh, and
I'll give a treat to the one who brought the ball back.
The orc kid takes the treat, kind of looks at it, smells it, and then like shrugs and eats it. It's not bad. I would like to say, Rex, since it is your you want to be the goodest of boys. I feel that is your legend. I think you've been a really good boy. And you get a legend point.
All right, where should I put that down?
If there's a place to mark inspiration, legend essentially replaces inspiration. Legend can be used.
You can't really save up in legend points then?
You can.
Inspiration, you just get. Inspiration or not.
You just got super loud. Boy, I don't know why.
Sorry.
That's okay.
These darn Yetis trying to auto-adjust our volume.
Okay. Now I know what other people get when that happens to me. So it does collect, but it is basically the legend points. It actually goes into a pool for everybody. Since you got this specific point, you kind of have first say on it, but anybody can use it. You can be like, hey, I'm giving this legend point to Winnie because, she needs to roll well on this. But it does basically the same thing as inspiration. You can, use it to roll advantage or, things like that.
And I think instead of electrum points or electrum pieces, that's where our legend points are going to go.
Sounds good.
Because, come on. Who uses electrum?
I'm going to give you so much electrum now.
All right. It's the only currency in the realm.
It's only electrum. I'm so sorry.
It's the only one that's not a flippin' decimal one. It's like, 100 or 10 is this, 10 is this, and then 15 or something electrum, and then everything is normal decimals. Cool.
10 square root of 2 electrum is 1 gold piece.
All right, so
I rolled perception and insight for Zasa just to see if she noticed the tail thwapping, which at a 20, I assume she did.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, at an 18 insight, she probably figured out what's happening and does not start thwapping people with her tail.
Yes. So because of that combination, I would say, you understand that this is a response that the dog folk are having to nice stimulus. You probably don't think the thwapping itself is the good thing. And you thwapping people with your tail might not be taken as well considering it's long and scaly. And not big and floofy.
Racist.
It is. I mean, you can still try if you want.
No,
so
this
it's
is one of the rare times she has enough insight to know what the hell's going on.
I honestly do think this is the first time. Every roll you've ever made to deduce what was happening, you never succeeded.
Just they're dogs.
Yeah.
You didn't have to think real hard to catch on to the they're dogs.
Yeah. But so Rachel, Shell sees that Phalor is coming back with the pies. They're coming back with a big basket of them. And some people had been talking in the back. You saw some whispers. And some of the Comprehend Languages potion was put in some pieces of cheese. You can thank Bevan for that.
Perfect.
And so the cheese and the pies are brought over. And held out to all of you. Phalor pulls you aside, Shell, and is like, well, this is getting a little bit more difficult. They seem to really be enjoying their time here. I mean, look at the kids. They're having a great time, but they just don't want to drink these potions. So we're kind of doing what we do with, I have a pet dog, and when it doesn't want to take its medicine, I put it in cheese.
Boy, a good idea.
Yeah, I think it'll help. Do you think you can maybe let Zasa know what's happening so she doesn't try and stop it?
Yeah. And so she'll go over to Zasa and be like, so we put the potions in some cheese?
Mm-hmm.
So your friends are likelier to eat it because it doesn't taste really good. But the cheese makes it go down better.
That's very clever.
Yeah, so just make sure they eat the cheese, but they seem pretty hungry, so that I don't think that'll be a problem.
Sure. I mean, no promises. I'm not exactly the beguiling sort, but I'll encourage it.
And so Fellow comes over with this big basket full of pies and cheese. Just all these little hand pies. There's some bread. And they set it down on the table in front of the dog folk. And Zasa, you're kind of waved over. And Fellow's like, take as much as you like. I don't recommend the cheese. I'm sure you know about the cheese. Just have them enjoy.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. We'll have to talk later.
Yes. You
Okay.
absolutely should.
Definitely.
When I eat this cheese, do I notice the taste?
I'd say this is a pretty strong cheese. You would think maybe there's something a little bit funky about it, but you'd have to roll a pretty high perception for me to actually be able to taste the medicine.
It's a 4. I eat it.
Yeah.
If it was lower, I was going to do I try to eat the cheese but not swallow the
Right.
potion at the same time. And everybody is like sitting there talking to each other finally, and I'm just standing there like,
So, Winnie, do you try and detect if there's anything in this cheese, or are you just happy there's cheese?
So, I mean, because Winnie's lactose intolerant, yeah, she eats the cheese. Everyone will suffer for it later, but yeah, she's just like, cheese.
And suddenly you all understand. All the talking that you're hearing around you starts to filter in as words that you can really understand. Before you were only really able to understand Zasa after she did her weird thing with the blood on the floor, but now you can understand all the orcs that are around you. You can understand the kids who are just saying things like, "Oh, such a good dog. Oh, you're so pretty and handsome."
yeah, I was going to say, it gets faster.
They're talking to you. They're very excited. You're some of the best travelers they've met ever. And Zasa, you actually have a little friend too. A much younger orc has come up to you and is just staring up at you with big wide eyes.
Hey, do you want to learn the dark arts?
Yes,
Fantastic.
I do. I like your scales.
Thanks. I like the hue of your skin. Those tusks are really cool too.
Thanks. And she like brings her hands up to her tusks and like touches them. They're like little tiny stub tusks. She's like, I think you're very cool.
I mean, I am cold-blooded, but I mean, it's warm in here, so I'm not that cool.
It is kind of warm. You're the best traveler I've like ever seen.
Oh.
That's very kind of you.
It's true. And she does like this like little like, you know that thing where kids like dig the tip of their shoe like into the floor. She's doing that. And she has her hands behind her back and she's just enamored with you. Now that the dog folk understand that people are, you know, what they're saying, Lars looks over and she's like, good. You finally understand us. Perfect. We have much to talk about. If you'd like to take a seat, you can continue eating. I'm sure the kids can stay. I mean, they already know the situation.
Yeah, so Shell will be, what are your names?
I'm Zasa.
Yes.
I'm Winnie.
And I'm eating, you know, like if you put food in front of a dog that they normally shouldn't eat and they start eating too much.
Right.
But no.
And then they start slowing down, but they don't want to stop. Because when am I going to get this chance again? But I do stop for a second to go out, Rex Fluffman, and I go back to eating.
I'm
Bits of pie flying out.
pleased to meet all of you. My name is Shell. I'm part of the Okoth Rangers here. This is Welcome Village, and obviously welcome. Make yourself at home.
Is this a new village? I don't understand. How far are we from Pugmire? I don't feel like it's that far.
I've never heard of Pugmire. Where's that?
Oh, it's the best. It's a whole place.
Well, I mean,
Everywhere
it
is
should just be
Pugmire.
right over there.
Interesting.
And Lars,
Like you're taking out a map.
Lars speaks up, and she's like, I think that you're probably not from around here. I don't know if you exactly understand where you are. You're in the Bloody Hills of Drum, in the realm, but I imagine this realm isn't yours.
How many X's in Drum?
I've heard of this before. People from other realms coming to ours.
We
I
haven't
never thought
had
I'd
many, but
meet anyone, though.
it's been a while. I think since, I think the last travelers from outside the realm that we had in Welcome Village were when you were quite young, Shell. I don't know if you remember. It was, there was a woman who was an elf, but she wasn't the kind of elf we know. And, there was, a human that, had a strange weapon. They were a gunslinger. Do you remember the gunslinger?
Oh, I remember the human vaguely.
The kids were all very enamored with him.
Wait, you
Slinging
humans
guns
here?
is exciting.
Yes. I mean, not frequently. You know, they
Like
must
at that
come over
point, like I
first.
stop eating and like a piece of pie just like falls down.
Uh,
Then
I
Yeah,
don't understand.
we trade
Did
with
I
humans
die?
often. I don't think so.
But I don't understand.
Have you never met humans before?
Well, no one's seen a human for who knows how long.
Millennia. It's
Oh,
ooh.
you can find many here.
Yes, they're quite
Interesting.
common. I mean, we haven't had many in the area recently due to the Middle Scourge, but usually they stop by often. I mean, perhaps you'll see some. I think what happened is that you must have come through a crossing. It happens often, but not so often around here. We haven't had any in quite a while. Something tells me you might be here for a reason. But basically what happened is that our realm is connected to many other realms through things called crossings. A crossing can be any number of things. Where were you before you showed up here?
I was in an inn like this one, drinking, celebrating a good day of goodness, and then I was out in the forest. I assumed I had a bit too much to drink, and I saw a lizard.
All right. And what about you, Zasa?
Well, I was in a tavern with my friend Marigold, listening to him play. The tavern was in Gelsbad, which is in Skarn. If you're familiar at all with Skarn, it was basically between the sea that's nothing but blood, and then the sea that's made out of water.
That sounds like a made-up place.
I don't think I've ever heard of Skarn, but all kinds come through the crossing. People from all over. Really, it must just be another realm like this one. Like, you know, Earth. We often get people from Earth. That's where a lot of humans
You mean
come
like
over there.
elementals?
No. They call their planet Earth. It's quite strange. Just the
Now,
entire
Why
thing.
would you do that? That seems
It's
entirely-
very confusing. I'm not a fan of it, but it's their decision.
Now, the question is, would the people of Pugmire, because that raises more questions, because Pugmire is just Earth in like the super future.
So yeah, that would probably be familiar to you as being a historical reference to your home.
So, despite the fact that they're saying these words, Winnie is now convinced that she has died. And
Yeah,
the
I
crossing,
think. Well,
the crossing
definitely.
is just right. So
I mean, look at
she
all this
puts her
food.
hand on Rex's knee. It's just like someone must have poisoned you at the tavern.
I look you in the eye and I'm like, it's okay though, we made it. Look at where we are. We were clearly very good boy and girl.
Tail's just thumping. You're right.
I think we can
So-
work with this.
So where can we find these humans?
Well, that's the problem, you see. We usually get humans coming here to trade and travelers passing through, but with that giant four-eyed monster out in the valley, that's been scaring away a lot of people, and in fact, we're all gathered in this meeting house to try and figure out what to do about it.
I have heard of this before. There are times, Rex, where you may have been a good boy in your life, but maybe not quite good enough, and so you have to go to a purgatory and prove yourself to be good enough to
It's a
then go
trial.
to humans. So we have to defend this. What did you call it?
The realm.
We have to defend this realm from the metal scourge. So that
Or
we can
did you mean our
go on to
village?
meet the humans.
I mean, I was a perfectly good boy, but maybe I was sent here to help you. So
What is
I
that supposed
still
to mean?
will. Look, all I'm saying is I've done nothing but good boy things.
Well, I've been nothing but the goodest girl, so
Then there must be a mistake.
Lars kind of puts her hands up. She's like, "Oh, okay. I don't believe you're dead. This probably isn't something that you've heard of before. It is probably not common where you're from. But if you know of humans, how do you know of them? Do they just live where you live?
Oh no. Humans aren't around. But when they were, oh boy.
Oh, were they around in the past, perhaps?
Some might say that.
Okay.
And I look over at Winnie because clearly Winnie's a lot smarter than me.
and when she says that, this isn't, no one's dead, she leans over to Rex and just like, obviously she is in denial.
So Lars is like, okay, so the crossings aren't exactly linear. For instance, you could go through a crossing and end up here, and it seems like you've been here a year, and then you go through another crossing, end up back home, and it's only been a minute. For that reason, perhaps it's the humans that we see, the humans that have come here, the humans that live here, are from a time in your past.
Time dilation. Interesting.
Exactly, yes.
Yes, time dilation. Interesting.
Sherrod is just like, those are all words.
Well, I know it's very confusing, but I think that perhaps if you're able to help us, maybe you'll be able to go back home. It is oftentimes you're brought here through a crossing for a reason, and maybe your reason is helping us with the Metal Scourge. We have given it a name quite recently. Someone saw something that, it gave us a bit of a hint. The thing that chased you, we think, is called the Lifed Beast. Or the Lifed Wagon, or something like that. I would like you all to roll an intelligence check for me.
I was hoping you were going to have something even like more on the nose, like the Hyundai.
You'll see exactly what this is later when you meet the Lifed Beast.
Well, I got a 10.
All right. So, I think we just
Oh,
need
Shell got
Sasa.
it.
Oh, hey, Shell got it.
Which is great, because my intelligence is 8.
I was going to say, like, you get a -1, and Zasa still rolled better than you with a 17.
So, Shell, you know exactly why it's called this, and I'll let you know in a minute. But Zasa, you think that this perhaps could be some sort of regional dialect or regional word for the word light, but you aren't really certain. The beast that chased you did shed a lot of light, so maybe life is a way of saying light. You're not exactly certain, but Shell, you know exactly why it's called this. One of the travelers who was chased by the Metal Scourge, the Life Beast, saw that written along the side, on its armor, were these letters: LYFT.
Oh,
Shell will volunteer that information.
is there an Ubar and a cat and a Taji?
Not yet.
Oh no, they've been joined by their allies, Taji and Ubar.
Shell lets you know that the Life Beast is because of the letters that was seen on its armor. After that little bit of information is revealed, Lars continues. It's actually why we all gathered here, like Shell said. The beast has been terrorizing travelers such as yourselves, and it's really ruining the reputation we're trying to build here. We're trying to be a welcoming place, welcome village, welcome to the village. But when there's a weird, fast beast chasing people in the valley right outside our village, it doesn't really give the best image. We can offer you a place to stay tonight, definitely for sure, and an ambassador to accompany you, through our lands. But all I ask in return is that you find the Life Beast and stop its rampage. Perhaps, then you'll find your crossing home. Maybe you can talk to it and talk it down, reason with it. I would much prefer that to violence, but do as you must. We have to fix this, otherwise our reputation is going down the tubes.
No, what I saw of that beast, there's no reasoning with
When you say ambassador, Winnie begins growling and she slams her fist down. I forgot the ambassador. I am such a bad girl today.
Did you lose an ambassador?
I'm like, no, Winnie. No, you're a good girl. And besides, if we're dead, it doesn't matter.
I don't think you're
But
dead.
what if that necromancer reanimates my body? That is heresy.
But your body's right here.
No, ma'am. You don't understand.
Winnie's eyes get really big and she just nods at you like,
Yeah, I don't think I do. But I'm pretty sure no one here is dead.
we have to help them. There's so much denial. We'll help them move on.
And that's why you're here, because you're not quite dead yet. And I'm here to make sure you make it back, because we're both good dogs.
I don't know that it's completely unreasonable. I tried talking to it, and it tried talking a little bit back to me, and then seemed like there were a lot of voices, and it was very confused. So maybe it's confused about the crossing also.
That's very interesting that you were able to speak to it. We've certainly been trying, but it's hard to get close to it. It chases you down. It's certainly promising.
I mean, it's one hypothesis. The other hypothesis I like to offer is that perhaps it had multiple voices because it's something along the lines of a Naga or Hydra. Well, I don't know if you have Nagas or Hydras here.
It doesn't sound familiar, but I think I read about a Hydra once. Yes.
Sometimes they're very mean, and sometimes they're not. My friend Kervin is actually dating a Naga, but both heads, of course.
Of course.
Very strange if she were only dating one of the heads.
That would get a little bit awkward, I would think. You know, if something had two heads and you were only dating one of them. Something to think about. I've never really thought of that before. And Lars just kind of gets like this thoughtful look on her face, like, I wonder. Oh, we have quite a dog going on there.
Unseen,
9:30 on
protect
a
yourselves.
Tuesday. I don't know what she's barking at.
Someone just came in with groceries or something.
Your brother probably came home with the food.
Yeah, okay. Goodness gracious, she's really being loud today. All right, so, Lars, kind of waves her hand away. Anyway, I very much digress. If you can stop the Life Beast rampage, we would reward you, of course, if you weren't immediately whisked home. But it shouldn't be too hard to find in the daytime. It has a jet black shell that shines in the sun, although it can be quite quiet when it wants to be. Do you have any questions? Anything we can help you with? We don't expect you to leave tonight, of course. Get a good night's sleep, have some more food, eat your fill. We have plenty. But any questions you have, I'm happy to answer.
Do we know what the life beast eats?
We haven't seen it eat. We've seen it. It's run down some small animals. But it never seems to do anything with them.
Perhaps it's consuming its life essence.
It could be. We honestly don't know.
That sounds horrifying.
I should hope that's not the case. Those poor squirrels, but it might be, honestly.
Squirrels?
Yeah, what?
Yes, the squirrels of the forest.
What? I stand up and draw my maul. Where?
They probably
no,
deserved it.
they're not dangerous. They're small. They're like this big, and they've got.
I know what a
tails.
squirrel is, and it shouldn't be here.
They're not dangerous. Are they poisonous where you're from?
No, they just don't belong here.
Well, we don't have any in here. There's no squirrels in here.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
Mission accomplished.
Another
meat pie.
Any other questions? Perhaps slow down a little. You're looking a little green around the gills. No offense. I don't think you have gills, Zasa, but you are quite green.
My friend Kervin does, but she's
Oh.
not here yet.
Oh. And Zasa, you said you were with a friend when you crossed and they didn't come with you.
Yeah. Marigold was playing music, like he often does, and it seemed otherworldly. And then I was in another world, which seems really on the nose.
I know a Marigold. Is Marigold a very beautiful Shih Tzu?
What's wrong with you? The Marigold I know is an Afghan. What?
I see that Marigold is a very common name. No, he's an elf. With fabulous hair and is very famous everywhere he goes.
I slowly raise my hand, or my paw.
Yes?
What's an elf?
Well,
Also, what are you? And what are you? We never got to this. You guys aren't dogs. You're a lizard.
Right?
Oh, I thought you all were
I'm getting
friends.
over that. A bit. No, I've never seen this woman in my life. He says after looking, just because you're a lizard. He doesn't know. You're not a dog. I can't smell you.
Oh,
Lizards don't smell very strong.
we're orcs. Elves, they're sort of like humans, but they're smaller. And they've got like really delicate ears.
Some sort of human Doberman hybrid.
I don't
Curious.
know what a Doberman is, but I don't think so. I mean, maybe. Sasa, you said that your friend was an elf, did you not?
Yes.
I've heard that there are half elves, so I guess they could have children.
What are their other halves?
Oh, half elf, half human.
Sort of like how I'm only three-quarters St. Bernard, but I'm a little Leonberger on my mother's side. Hence the fluffy mane.
Yes,
I believe so,
that
yes.
sounds accurate.
Interesting. So you have matrilineal naming. That's fantastic.
Oh, I'm just named because I have a fluffy mane, and I fluff my mane up again.
So Winnie becomes serious for a moment there, and she says, well, you've already fed us many rewards. We could not ask for more. Absolutely, we will help you.
Well, I don't mean to make you feel as if you have to. Hospitality from Welcome Village is always there. If you refused, I would accept that. I understand it. It is a dangerous quest. It's something that has been terrorizing our village, and honestly, I wouldn't ask the average traveler. But individuals such as you, who aren't from this realm, might stand a better chance. Sometimes these things have a way of just working out. And then she kind of gestures over to you, Shell, kind of calls you over to the side. Shell, can I speak with you for a moment?
Of course, and I'll go with her.
She kind of takes you to the side, not super out of earshot, but enough that, she's no longer directly talking to the rest of the party. And she's like, these travelers will need a guide through our lands. As you can see, they really have no idea where they are, and that can be dangerous.
I'd be happy to be their guide. They're fascinating.
I
always wanted to really meet a traveler.
I thought so as well. I mean, if I didn't have my responsibilities, I'd want to accompany them. But yes, I would really appreciate it, Shell. We can consider giving you a raise once you get back. You've been quite the guard.
Why like that? Their religion is fascinating.
Yes, I'm quite confused by that. I mean, to each their own. And the weird blood magic, a little unsettling on the lizard woman's part. But, the magic is a strange thing. Some people, worship the light. Some people do weird blood rituals.
I'll keep an eye on her, too.
I would appreciate it.
So as they walked away, Winnie eyes Rex, and she's like, why would we refuse? Are they trying to trick us or test us? Why would we be bad dogs and refuse?
I don't know. These people might just be. They might work with bad dogs. We might be the first good dogs they've ever met.
Technically true.
So it means we have to be extra good dogs. Which means we can't rip up their pillows. Or we gotta make sure to go out.
Winnie glances over at Zasa. Are there good snakes?
There are.
Are there bad snakes?
Oh, yes. I am a descendant of Mormo, the Titan. She is responsible for a lot of Titans. And a lot of us are, bad, and are dedicated to resurrecting her or to dominating the world in her name, or just killing people for the fun of it. I'm none of those three.
Well, obviously, because you're here.
You're a bad
here.
snake, you wouldn't be here.
Right.
I was a sister of the Scythe, but now I'm an adventurer, and I try to learn everything I can about the world so that I can share it with people. Which reminds me, little one, would you like to learn blood magic?
Yes, please. And the kid has basically just been standing there the entire time, looking up at you, fascinated.
It's got a knife ready.
Yeah, the kid grabs a knife from the table. Yes, please.
Zasa does a shitty job of teaching.
Teaching this young child blood magic.
To do prestidigitation, it's gonna take a good pint to do this prestidigitation, kid. But I think you'll figure it out one day.
I feel so woozy.
She's like, look, Mom, I created a strange odor and passes.
Someone feed that kid some spinach.
So as you're all talking, it seems like Lars can kind of tell that you've gotten to know each other, you've gotten a little bit more comfortable with what you're doing. And she comes back over and she's like, well, Shell has agreed to accompany you in the morning. She will be your guide. Ask her any questions you have. She'll be happy to help. She is a wonderful guide and guard, one of our best and brightest. But if you have any questions, definitely ask her. You can ask me as well. But I do need to finish the meeting we're having. Phalar will bring you to the inn. You can continue to eat if you like. Otherwise, just get a good night's sleep. The meal was free of charge, of course. You are doing us a great service. And for now, rest. I'm sure you're all exhausted after that chase and after ending up in this strange place for you. But yes, take a load off.
I've been trying to get our good dog to come up here, but she's just like sitting right off camera. But every time I say good dog, her tail wags a little faster.
Aw, that's cute.
Come on, Lola.
So when he asks, do you have a lawn?
A lawn, yes. Well, I mean, right out front there's lawn.
Do you mind if I step out?
Yes, of course. You can come and go freely.
Excellent.
Yeah, I've had a lot to eat and drink too. I gotta go use the lawn as well. I gotta go outside.
Don't tease our dog.
Well, that's why I did it in the voice like that.
Okay.
So when he goes out and does her business.
Oh yeah, as does Rex.
Oh well, if Rex does it, she hangs out for a little bit and sniffs it. Social animals. Anyway,
Her face is literally like right next to her neck.
Zasa asks Shell probably a billion questions about the local cosmology that she may or may not be able to answer.
So, Shell, you're asked a lot of questions by Zasa. I'd say you're probably able to answer about maybe half of them. She gets very in-depth, and at some points you're like, I've never thought about that before. And other times you're like, let's talk about something else. Like, it gets kind of awkward multiple times. Just because Zasa's very
her
thorough.
Intelligence is 8. And so she'll just be like, I did not get much schooling as a kid, so I'm not sure.
But when you look up at the moon over the course of the whole night, which direction does it spin?
I don't think it does.
Interesting.
And then Phalar shows up. Have the good dogs returned?
Oh yes.
Okay, so Phalar comes back and they're like, all right, follow me. I have rooms made up. Do you want to stay all together? Do you want to be separate? We have plenty of rooms. We've had no guests. Please come this way.
I'm gonna stay in my house.
Oh yes, of course, Shell, you don't have to come. You go to your house. I mean, you can come stay if you want. I have plenty of room. I have so much room. No one's at my inn.
So I live just like right over there. Is there anything I can do to help you get settled in?
thank you for
I
your
don't
offer.
know.
but No.
Okay. Well, you're in good hands, and I suppose I will come by in the morning?
Fantastic. Did you have a specific time in the morning, or just when people wake up?
Sure. Let's say about an hour or two after dawn. I don't know.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, the plan is made. Shell, you're able to go back to your home. Do you do anything in particular after the night you've had?
She probably pours herself a drink and is just like, that's a weird day I had.
It's certainly one for the record books. You're gonna
She probably has some family that she lives with, and she'll be like, you will not believe what happened to me today.
there are these strange dog people and a lizard or a snake woman and the dogs think they're dead. So I don't know what's up with that. The rest of you, you are led to the inn. The inn is a sturdy-looking wood building, much like this one, with finely crafted furnishings. The inn is clean, but quite clearly empty. It's hard to tell how much of this is due to the metal scourge itself, and how much is due to maybe less people come here than they've said. It's a bit hard to tell. But is there anything that you would like to ask Phalar before you, get shown to your rooms? Or did you want to keep eating? There is still food available.
I'm gonna try, but I don't think it happens.
So you're like given food and you try and eat it and you just like keep like bringing it to your mouth and bring it back down.
I mean, I got a 15 on that Constitution roll, and I forgot to add to roll the saving throw, so it's a +3, it's an 18. I keep eating.
Okay.
Oh man, Lola, you're like making. Now she's smelling the freaking microphone. So you guys can probably hear that. And she licked the microphone.
Oh.
Well, we're just talking about all these good dog things, and
Right?
she wants to know. All right, Winnie, are you doing anything? Are you still eating? Or are you just heading to bed?
No, she's not one of those compulsive eaters. Like, she knows her limits, so she'll head off to bed. She would like her own room.
Okay.
While she does like to snuggle every so often, she's not really like a sharer when it comes to blankets.
So you are shown to your own room. It's well furnished. The bed isn't particularly large, but it's enough room for you. It has like some lanterns to light your way. There's a chest of drawers, and there's a couple of books and stuff that have been added to make it a little more homey, as well as like some paintings and things like that, just to liven it up a little bit.
So does the potion that we drank, does it allow me to read the books, or is it only spoken language?
Let me check comprehend languages real fast. I'm just gonna look at Zas's character sheet because she has that. So I'm trying to remember. I'm not sure if comprehend languages let you.
You understand any written language you see, but you must be touching the surface and the words are written.
Okay, yeah. So you would understand the books as long as you were touching them.
She would absolutely sit down with some of those and start reading.
You find it kind of strange. Some of the books seem to be about about Welcome Village, talking about the culture and the history. But there are some books that seem like they're about other places, other realms, other worlds. You can't tell if this is necessarily like a fantasy book or if it's real, given what you know. But I would like you to roll a just an intelligence check for me, or a history. Oh, nat 20. So as you are flipping through the books, you find one that is a book from Earth.
It is the AKC, the Complete Dog Book American Kennel.
Yes! It's a book about dogs.
That would be horrifying.
Right?
That would be the most disturbing thing.
Oh, it'd be funny though. Okay, no, it's not. It is. It seems to be it's kind of boring. But it's it's full of like facts and there's images and everything. It's listed alphabetically. It seems to only contain the letters A through D. But there's lots of different stuff in it, all talking about Earth.
Interesting.
Yeah, so some of this is stuff that you've heard of before. Other stuff you have no idea what it's talking about, but it's clearly familiar to you.
And it does make sense that if this is a crossroads for after death, people are just, bringing their books from everywhere and leaving their stuff behind, which reminds me I have to go get that bone out of the yard. I'm dead. I can't go get the bone out of the yard. Duh.
All right, and Salsa, what are you doing? Are you going to bed? Are you talking to Phalor more?
Gonna use, gonna cast Unseen Cartographer and aim it up at the stars. I want to get a good map of the constellations that are up right now.
Okay, so like a star chart kind of thing? Okay, yeah, definitely. You are able to get that. You get a beautiful map that's showing the different constellations, the 2 moons. It's like no stars you've ever seen before. You definitely think that you aren't in Skarn. And you get the feeling that either this crossing thing is the thing that just happens and you happen to stumble upon it, or maybe some god was messing with you. As sometimes happens in Skarn.
That's very probable.
And Keely!
Someone was bored.
Not naming names, but it's in Keely.
Yeah. Not naming names, but it's totally definitely in Keely.
Yeah.
When isn't it in Keely? All right, so you are able, after you do the things that you're doing, continuing to eat, reading books, charting the stars, you fall asleep.
Before Rex goes to sleep, he says what he has always thought is a prayer, because it's in the same language that other prayers from Earth were written in, but he's never understood it, and he always thought it was his own special prayer. And he sit there mumbling, "Lorem ipsum dolar sit amet, elementum sed ante, fusi nihil elit, dictum eget cadamentum pe, elementum sed fugiet pulvinar justo ante."
You say your prayer into the strange world that you're in, and for each of you, although you lay down and try to sleep, it doesn't quite come easily. Perhaps you toss and turn a little bit, as tired as you are. You know you're not home, and it's definitely weird for you.
After that prayer, does a quick brown fox jump over Rex?
Every night.
It's that's what he does instead of counting sheep. It's quick brown foxes jumping over the lazy dog.
And then buffalo. Well, you can come up here. See, I'm the one who always tells her to go to the bottom of the bed. So she's always afraid to come up to the top of the bed when I tell her to. So she's like right here.
She just wants to get in there.
Here.
So
and it's like, get on camera, girl. You're
let
a very
everybody
good girl.
see you. Let everybody see the very good girl.
We've only got 10 more minutes tonight. Come on. It's your time to shine. Up. Come on. There you go. Come on.
Oh, I see her nose.
Oh.
Come on.
Yeah, you're tricking me.
Nope. She's going to the bottom of the bed.
I know better.
Oh, she's camera shy.
She totally gets on my camera all the time. It's because it's Bevan.
Because I'm the mad guy.
He has a deep voice, so.
I have the deeper voice, and I'm the one who yells at her, who sprays her with the water.
When she does the bad dog things.
If I'm up till 3 a.m. doing something and I come to bed, she's sleeping in my spot, so I have to tell her to move. And she just edges herself all the way to the bottom of the bed.
Oh.
Lola, you have fans who want to see your pretty face.
Basically, that'll be about it for tonight. But we'll give a little bit of a little bit more information. As you each awaken the next morning, the reality of the previous night crashes upon you. You've been sucked into a new plane, chased by a strange beast, united with a bunch of strangers. And now you're being sent on a quest to save a village you didn't even know existed this time yesterday. How are you all feeling at the end of this first segment?
As Winnie or as Jeremy?
Both! might as well talk about it. We got a little bit of time.
Winnie does feel a little sad, but she's hoping she was a good enough girl to make it through this. And Jeremy's having a blast. Thank you.
I'm a bit annoyed. Like, I just moved the camera towards Lola, and then she moved to the bottom of the bed.
Nope.
Like, half of her face was on screen for 2 seconds.
I'm sorry.
Now she's just sitting at the bottom of the bed, like, looking at me with her mouth open, like I showed you, but...
How's Rex Fluffmane feeling?
Well, he's asleep. Like, he is out.
Even still in the morning?
What?
Even still in the morning?
You guys have to wake Rex up. He's
So Rex is still out
you can hear him snoring.
throughout the entire inn.
Oh, yes.
All right, how's Zasa feeling the next morning?
Zasa is super excited. There is a new world full of data that she has not yet explored and cataloged, so she is super happy about this.
Oh,
I mean, she's very confused, but also very happy.
I would just say, Zasa, for charting the stars, you get a legend point as well.
Woo!
So I'm going to put in Electrum pieces the amount that I've earned.
Mhm.
And, like, this is just, like, for everybody, like, how I think we should do it. And then put in Platinum one everybody else's have earned. So, like, for me, I have 1 and 1, so that's 2.
Mm-hmm. So that you all kind of know how many
So
points
like
are floating around.
Hiromi will have 1 and 1. You guys will each just have 2 in Platinum. I know that's stupid and you don't have to do the same recording as I am, but
If you wanna.
it's just because I'm a crazy person.
All right. Last but not least, Shell. How are you feeling?
I think Shell's feeling pretty excited. Like, you know, she's heard stories about people crossing over all the time and like all the really cool adventures that they go on. And she's gonna get to be a part of that now. She's like really looking forward to that.
Very cool. Well, with that, we will leave it for today. I'll let everybody go around, talk about themselves. We're going to see you next week, same time, same place. And we will have Rune with us playing Marigold. I'll have to find a fun place for him to have been this entire time. Perhaps he crossed over and just didn't end up where you did. All right, so we'll go reverse order that we did the first time. So, Jeremy, you're up first.
Oh, I'm Jeremy. You can find me on Twitter at WHPubs or here on Twitch at WHPublications. That's all I got. I'm sorry.
No problem at all. No problem at all. All right, Rachel.
Hey, so as you can see on the overlay, I'm still on fire pretty much everywhere. I do a lot of work with the Storyteller's Vault, so you can find me there. Rachel E. Judd is the name I publish under. And I will be back here on Thursday night running a Changeling the Dreaming Chronicle.
Fun.
Very exciting.
Currently set in early 1200s Constantinople. So
Nice.
early 1200s. Stuff's about to happen.
Right on the edge of something.
Uh-huh.
Very cool. All right, Hiromi.
Hi, I'm Hiromi. I am gonna be Zasa again on Saturday in an alternate universe where she did not go on this adventure. And because this weekend is Onyx Path Con, which, if you're watching this, you should know about Onyx Path Con. It's a free virtual convention that is happening this weekend. There's going to be panels with a whole bunch of Onyx Path folks about all sorts of topics. Actual plays that look kind of just like this, except with all of the games that Onyx Path has. I'm going to be playing Scion on Sunday. I think there are other Scion games as well. You should just watch everything. Some of the games are simultaneous, so you're going to have to like open up several browsers and get a couple of different windows going. But that's okay.
Just don't sleep. Don't do anything else.
It's fine. And if you want, there are going to be virtual tabletops that you can sign up for, so you can just play a game with maybe one of us. I don't know. I don't know who's doing anything because I'm not in charge of scheduling that because I don't want to be.
No, it seems like a nightmare being in charge of scheduling.
But yeah, if you want to play games, you want to watch panels, those are things that you can do. And who needs sleep?
Only the weak.
And I would love to paste other people's links so that you can buy stuff from them, but I don't have them yet. But maybe if they throw me stuff in Discord or something real fast, I can post that. Besides that, there are my Amazon author page, web page, and Twitter, so that you can follow me if you want to for some strange reason.
So definitely follow Hiromi. They're great. And Rachel and Jeremy, if you want to provide links for Hiromi to post in the stream chat, they can do that, and then everyone will be able to see your stuff. Finally, Bevan.
I'm Bevan. I don't do much right now. I play in games on our channel on Roll the Roll, and I do the hosting when James isn't hosting. And come either late July or early August, our Scarred Lands game is finally going to come back, and we're going to go to the Blood Sea. And maybe only one or two of the actual characters will do that because they went from saving the world from spirit ghosts coming back to being pirates. It's a bit of a change for those kind of heroes, so we'll see. But otherwise, you can find me Friday nights with Corinne on Roll the Roll, doing Starfinder, and Thursday nights I'm on Psyche Siren's channel playing an orc. But otherwise, I'm more of a player and behind the scenes guy. So.
And my lovely husband.
Yeah, well, your lovely, good for nothing.
No.
Drain on the household.
Don't be down on yourself.
I'm gonna be salty.
Can't talk about my good friend Bevan like that.
Yeah, don't talk about our friend Bevan like that.
You be a good dog.
I am a good dog.
You've been such a good dog, Bevan.
I try.
I am Corinne. I've been your DM. I'm known as Manic Pixie Girl on Twitter. I do lots of things on Roll the Roll. I run a game on Saturday on this channel, Purge of the Serpent Holes, with Hiromi and with Rune, who you'll meet next week, as well as so many other great people. It's a blast, so join us. And I'll also be on a couple of panels, at least one, during the Onyx Path Con. So check me out then. I'll be on a safety tools one because they're important and very cool, especially if you want to make things creepy. You want to make sure that your players are having a good time with all the creepy. So that's me. I hope you had a great night. Check out Legendlore. Let me get that link again for the Kickstarter. And we'll see you all next week. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Wash your hands.
Yes, wash
Mask
your
up.
hands. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Do all the good things.
If you get tear gassed, use water or saline, not milk.
Milk is for
to
pepper
Hiromi.
spray.
Hiromi knows these things. All right, we're
Not for
transitioning.
tear gas.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
If it will transition, come on. There we go.
Transition hard.